Welcome to our series, Engineering the Future of Finance. Every day there are trillions of dollars and euros moving through the global capital market system. Have you ever wondered what's behind that? We as Deutsche Börse Group provide critical infrastructure that makes all of this happen. We are the engineers of the capital market. I'm very excited today to welcome Stephanie Eckermann, the head of post-trade of Deutsche Börse Group. Post-trading is the business where you are issuing securities, where you're settling securities, where you're moving them between different owners before and after the trade. Now this sounds very simple, but it is a very complicated, a very technical business that truly needs engineering capabilities. So therefore, Steffi, what makes you one of the engineers of the capital market?
It's a good question. First of all, I'm responsible, as you said, for a business that is still very technical with a lot of engineers. And I guess that's the Clearstream culture, an engineering culture where you have pockets of very, very deep technical knowledge and long-standing expertise. But talking about engineering, for me, it's always also a bit about problem solving, the curiosity to optimize things and continuously improve. And that's also my passion, to really bring these deep pockets of technical know-how together and continuously improve. And that curiosity is more and more also there in the Clearstream culture, which I'm very proud of.
Great. So we talk often about the engineering, technical engineering, and then the business engineering. And indeed, sort of, Clearstream is a lot around the business engineering, the flows that happen and where securities are. So there are these trillions of money that are moving through the securities markets globally every day. If you had to summarize a bit, where do you see in that complexity, the main developments that relate to what we call post-trade, but back to the core of the settlement businesses? What is most important to understand about it today?
I think first it is important to understand the general role of the CSD. No, I mean it's called post-trading, but it's really it's really the support of a security through its life cycle. No, a CSD issues security before it can be traded, and everything that comes after a trade, the settlement, the asset services on top. That is done by a CSD. In some areas, it's still in a vault. In others, it's already in a digital bank account or wallet. And with that, the CSD really creates the security and the transparency and a lot of the efficiency that capital market brings to our economies. And for me, that's why it is a very important role, really coming down to the role of capital markets, what a CSD can offer. No?
So the trust is at the end of the day that the certificate in an old world really existed, that it was located in the vault of the CSD, as you say, and today sort of we see so much dynamics in digitization. So what does digitization mean for your business, for the post-trade world?
Yeah. For the post-trade world, it really means that something that is in many areas still linked to paper and in many areas still very cumbersome, linked to processes that take 2 days, T+2, and in the future T+1. This is still very different from the world we know of our personal retail banking, where everything is instant payment and very convenient. And so on the B2B side, digitization means that this is also in a non-paperless, dematerialized and much faster first. So in a digital CSD, digital issuance takes not 2 days anymore, but 6 minutes. And it's not only about the speed that allows many different things, but also then on the data and the data quality that comes with it, where then we can provide our clients much better data and data that is instantly linked to the system. So that's digitization. Second step, there comes then the tokenized world, where then this is also offered in a decentral architecture, which then adds further benefits.
Great. No? So that's the next frontier on which you're working. But already, having the knowledge that if I decide to buy a share, it doesn't need 2 days later to be a certificate that gets delivered. But as you say, I've instantly acquired it, or the treasurer, they can instantly get the money.
Yeah.
I think it's a big trend, and therefore the changes that are going on are very demanding also technically, as I understand.
Yeah.
Now, we intuitively always start in talking about share certificates and bond certificates. That's the old world. But really, as investment gets so much more democratized, that the investment vehicles have changed a lot. So we talk a lot around ETFs, we talk around funds. That's what today's citizens use to take care of their old age pensions. So what does this mean? What is the role of you as an infrastructure provider in the context of the new instruments?
On the Clearstream Fund Services side, we run one of the largest fund platforms, and this includes ETF in Europe and globally, and that means that we help the industry in that democratization process, where we link asset managers to distributors and help them to organize the execution of the funds, but also the distribution of the funds more efficiently. And that is something we're really proud of, because there, as an infrastructure, we can contribute to the democratization and the increased retail demand that's out there, and organizing everything that a distributor, so a bank that owns the client relationship on the retail side, they need to organize to provide investment products efficiently. That is really at the heart of Clearstream Fund Services.
So for them, you give them an enormous choice of funds they can access, and you make it cheaper. Is that?
Exactly. Cheaper, faster, more seamless, and secure.
Besides what we've talked about, classical bonds and shares, but also the ETFs as well as investment funds. A big theme is the new frontiers of investing. It's about the alternatives investment. So is there also a role in alternatives for market infrastructure like Clearstream? Yeah,
there definitely is. And if you talk about alternatives, it's a very broad definition of the asset class already. This is, for us, it's everything from hedge funds, infrastructure investments, real estate, but then also classical private equity. And indeed, there is a trend that more and more wealth and affluent investors want to invest in these assets. And there's also a trend in democratizing these assets. Today, it's still very cumbersome to execute and distribute these assets, but we clearly believe that we have a role to play there, and to also be the infrastructure that more efficiently is organizing the distribution of these assets.
Very exciting. So you're traveling both on the axis of new technology, and on the other side also new instruments and different ways of investing. So I think in a broad way you're truly changing the world of settlement and how trust is created and certainty of ownership. Now often this is also about choices for engineers, which technology to take, where to go next. Let me try to probe a bit your choices, your more personal choices. Now, not so difficult. It always has an Austrian bias when I put these choices, as you know. So the first one would be Tyrol or Frankfurt. What's closer to you?
That's not an easy one for me. No, it's Frankfurt. I'm very proud to be based here in Frankfurt, but closeness to Tyrol was one of the mancos after living in Munich for 20 years, that this is not there anymore. So it's not an easy question, but clearly Frankfurt.
So that's a good bridge between the two. It's the same I actually share personally very much. So when it goes down to the home and where we are all, then it's always the question, is it just the children in the family, or is it also companions? So cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs, okay. And so you have a dog? Well, we have a dog too. It's a very agile, a nice member of the family, given that the children have left the house.
Yeah.
So for you, it's managing a crowd of children and the dog.
Yeah, three kids and a dog, and I always say this is kid number 4 and 5. So.
Okay, well that's a high aspiration of educational level you want to bring the dog to. So that's a lot to do. So if we close it out on the choices that we face, it's always a eating choice sort of in the context. So it's French cuisine or the more German Frankfurt-based Apfelwein and
It's French cuisine.
It's French cuisine. That's a good choice, especially related to Luxembourg that offers in many aspects some good French cuisine.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining me today. I think this has been helping very much to illustrate what's going on in the post-trade world and how much technology change and the choice that is developing is really hinging on the progress that we are making as Deutsche Börse Group and in the post-trade more widely. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.